Morning, everybody. At work I was thinking about doing mustafar, and this is kind of the genesis of how a table starts. I write down a list of notes. These can be ideas or whatever. It gives me kind of a roadmap to how I want to build a table up. You can freeze frame it if you want to go through that. When you're building a table, you know, from the ground up, there's a couple of things that you want to consider. The first thing that I consider is flexibility. You want it to be able to work in a number of different capacities. Especially if you're doing a lot of campaign playing, which is what ultimately I try and shoot for. Because that's, I mean, if it can function for campaign usage, it'll function for anything. That's the greatest demands you're probably ever going to put on your terrain, is that you've got to stay within a genre and yet switch it around time and time and time again. If you've got terrain that can do that, you're getting the most for your money. And that's, you know, I want the most for my money, and I'm assuming that other people want the most for theirs, so that's the way I do it. Color selection. You're going to want to have 2 to 3 to 4. You're going to want to have some varying colors. You don't want it to be too monochromatic. This one's going to be a little bit tough with that rule for the simple fact that it's kind of a lava/ash world. But lava tends to be dramatic enough that you can usually pull it off with just the color of the stone and the lava. And it usually looks really good. Some other things that you want to have. You want to have... People are usually really good at covering their horizontals. And their horizontals, by that I mean things like hills, things that tend to be fairly low-lying. The problem that most people run into is they don't cover their verticals. And by that, you need to have some things that have some height to give it a dramatic feel. One of the nice things about Mustafar is those big heat sinks. And I'm planning on using those to break up my horizontal lines and give me some good vertical height. Also, think along the lines of towers, really tall cliffs/hills, things along those lines. Another thing for big sets that you're going to want to do is you want to have some impassable terrain and have some ways to get across it, i.e. bridges. What that does is it gives your table multiple levels of movement, i.e. they can't get here on the ground floor, but if they go up on this hill they can get across. That creates a much more interesting table to fight across and to play on. And along with that, you want to also have areas where they can go underneath things. It really allows the playing pieces to interact with the table. If you tend to have these things together, you're going to have a nice table. You're going to have a very nice table. And so these are the things that tend to go through my mind when I'm roughing out what I want. So my goal over the next 6-7 days now is to try and blueprint out the building, get a better handle on how I want my lava fields, rivers, pools, etc., how I want those to work and interact, and then from there you can start looking at the piece and critically thinking through what'll make it look better. So this is kind of a I'm trying to show you, you know, from point A to point Z how I do things, and hoping that that'll help you guys in your building endeavors. And on to some phenomenal freaking news. For those of you people who do not know who Kamloopian is, pull your head out of the sand, folks. Go over and check out Steve the Kamloopian. He's had like he said, he's had a rough year. Had death in the family that, you know, really knocked him back, and he wants to get back into the swing of what he was doing previously to that. And I'm telling you, that was one of the coolest channels on here, you know, up until he had that tragedy in his family. And I, for one, am extremely excited to see him feeling back to the point where he can mix it up, you know, like he was doing prior to that, you know, this year. So I want you guys to go check him out. If you haven't checked him out, give him words of encouragement. And Steve, you could double your Oz and you still won't say as many as me, so you're good in that sense. And I find your A's quite endearing myself, so just have a ball, dude. And that's what's basically going on here. I also want to point out that the comment section from yesterday was fantastic. I don't know if that was from me asking questions or what the deal was, but it was really refreshing to get all you guys involved more, where you guys are more of the center stage kind of thing. I'm certainly no dormicom. I'm not, I don't have that almost reporter-like ability to get people fired up and getting, you know, commenting on things, but I can really see his draw to doing that, because you guys are just so interesting. All your different views are fantastic. So, what will be the topic for today? Don't know. Well, anyways, like I said, it's looking like it's going to be Mustafar, and I'm probably going to do a battle report between my droid army and my Clone Wars Clone Trooper army on it. And these tables, I'm probably not going to have enough room that I can't hold on to them for as long as I'd like. I'd like to get a table for each different army. Having a little bit of trouble with figuring out, you know, which army should get which table, because there's so many neat terrain types. My biggest problem right now is a stormtrooper. Let's see if I can find that. Yeah, I'm a notes-aholic person. The armies that I'm going to be featuring is going to be the Stormtroopers, the Rebel Army, the Clone Troopers, the Droids, and the Hutt troops. So for the Hutt troops, I'm planning on doing like Tatooine, The droid troops, I'm planning on doing Geonosis, and I'm probably going to have some pieces that can swap between Geonosis and Tatooine since they're both desert planets. Camino, you know, that one, that like metal island city with the decks everywhere, out on the ocean, that's Camino. I'm planning on using that for my clone troopers base. I'm planning on doing like an Aztec jungle base for the rebels, and I still can't think of a place for the stormtroopers. I don't want to go with the Death Star. I want to go with something else, but I can't quite put my finger on what I want their base to be. So, anyways, that's what's going through my crazy head at the moment. So, we'll talk to you guys later. Go out and check out Steve. And just have a fantastic day. Love you. Bye-bye.